Good morning, football fans. That's right. It's Sunday, and it is time to get down with the games. Come on now. It is fourth and funny. Let's go. All right, guys, we are heading into week 12 of the NFL. Man, this season is just chugging right along, and I can't believe that we are coming up on December already. Those Thanksgiving games are just around the corner, coming up on Thursday. And yes, I will have a special Turkey Day fourth and funny out for you on those games. There's 3 now. Growing up, there only used to be 2. All right. So first down this week, we've got Philly for real, man. Listen, my Detroit Lions took on that Philly defense last week, and I will tell you what, while their offense seems to struggle at times, their defense, guys, is really, really dominant. Even if they weren't getting to the quarterback, they got those quick hands. They were up. They were batting balls down. I think there was like 7 or 8 batted passes in that game against Detroit. They didn't score a lot of points against Green Bay the week before, and they still got the job done. I believe the score in that game was 10-7. Again, low-scoring affair. Philly and Detroit didn't light up the scoreboard either, which really was tough when Detroit couldn't convert on some field goals or took fourth down opportunities. But the weather really wasn't that great. But I'm telling you guys, Philly is for real. I feel like they're going to be that number 1 seed coming out of the NFC, and they're going to carry. I think the NFC Championship game is going to be in Philadelphia this year. Barring anything crazy like a number 1 seed wipeout like last year with the Lions, I think that is going to be the case. Philly is a very dominant team. Jalen Hurts has not been running. Even the commentators last week mentioned it, that they save him more for the playoffs when he takes off and as the season ramps up and gets closer to go time for the Super Bowl. But other teams don't do that. Kansas City, they let Patrick be Patrick, and he does it all year long. But we'll get more into the Kansas City Chiefs later in the program. But that's first down, guys. Philly is for real, so watch out. I've got them as a very serious Super Bowl contender. All right, guys, second down. Let's talk about Denver's dominance in the NFC or the AFC West. They are sitting, I believe, at 7-2 heading into week 12. Wow. I had the Bolts for this division going into the season to dethrone Kansas City. But it appears that Sean Payton and those Denver Broncos are the ones that may end up just taking that division. There's still a lot of time left before we get to that playoff picture taking its final form. But right now, Denver is really sticking it to the AFC. Bo Nix has really emerged as that leader there on the offense. They've got their best cornerback is still out, but they've also got that linebacker that just is tearing up defenses or offensive lines. Very strong defense there in Denver. But I'm telling you, it's that offense with Sean Payton and the way he handles Bo Nix. They've got a pretty decent core of receivers there. I mean, it's not a no-name list, but their names elude me at this moment. But yeah, I see Denver really sticking it to Kansas City and keeping them out of that AFC West title that they've won consecutive years, numerous years. We all compared them to the New England Patriots of the Tom Brady era. But now, moving into the longer end of Patrick Mahomes' dominance and run in the AFC, it looks like this new wave of quarterbacks are starting to move to the top, led by Bo Nix over there in the AFC. What do you guys think? Do you think Denver is the dominant team over there in the AFC? I believe them and the Colts are sitting 1-2 as far as who's going to end up with that number 1 seed. I still say it's going to be the Colts or whoever comes out of the East, New England or Buffalo. Buffalo's got some things to work on, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But that second down, guys, man, Denver dominance in the AFC. What do you think? Let us know down in the comments. All right, guys, third down. Here we go. It is do or die time in the NFL. There are some teams sitting right there in the middle of their division. The division may be a tight race, or they may just be scrapping for that wild card berth. But here are some teams I've got listed to look out for that are do or die here in the next few weeks. Probably 2, 3 at best. But here we go. Kansas City. This is a team on the outside looking in for the first time in a long time with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and company. They are on the outside looking in. I think they still manage to get in. They've got enough. Andy Reid is well versed in handling this. He did it with the Eagles for many, many years, and now he's been doing it several years with the Chiefs. I think they find a way to get in. Unfortunately, with the Kansas City Chiefs, it's kind of like the NHL playoffs. Just find a way to get in, and good things will happen. You still got the refs on your side, right? Hey. Anyways, Detroit. Detroit is another team that has do or die aspirations here in the next couple of weeks. Chicago, we've talked about Chicago and what they look like and can they sustain, and will Caleb Williams keep going? Their defense is continuing to get better, so if that defense holds them in, I don't know if they can keep that number 1 slot in the NFC North. Will Detroit win 3 division crown titles? 3-peat, I'd take it. I'm a huge fan. DC, let's go. But no, they've really got to take care of business this week against the Giants, who are limping, starting Jameis Winston. Kayvon Thibodeau is out. So I feel like this is definitely an indoor get-right game for Jared Goff and the Lions, and then to turn around on a short week to take care of Green Bay coming up on Thanksgiving Day. So this is do or die for them, which again, for Green Bay also is a do or die. They are sitting there in the middle of the division. They've got that pesky little tie that they're sitting on. We'll see what happens with that as far as seeding in the NFC goes, or if that comes down to a tiebreaker situation where they get hosed with that tie. Ties are always tricky in the NFL. That's why I hate them, except when it happens to Dallas and Green Bay. Dare I say Carolina on this list? Carolina is surging in what seems to be a struggling division. Clearly, Tampa Bay, I feel, will win that division. They've got a firm hold on that. But Carolina to sneak in the playoffs with Bryce Young and that resurging run game that they've got going with, what is that, Roddy Dowell or whatever? Yeah, they may make the playoffs. They're on the outside looking in, like a lot of these teams on this list. But I think Carolina maybe just maybe that team that everybody goes, wow, they got in, but we'll see. I also have Baltimore on this list. Baltimore really needs to solidify that they're going to take back hold of that division over the next couple of weeks and prove that they are going to be the Baltimore Ravens that we knew them to be before they had their struggles at the beginning of the season. And with news coming out this week that Joe Burrow was a full participant in practice and has been pushing to play, though he will not play this week, which I have a theory on that, and we'll lead into that on fourth down here, guys. But Cincinnati with Joe Burrow coming back, do they have enough in the tank to make a push to get a final wild card spot? We'll see. That's been third down, guys. Crucial fourth down coming up. Here we go. All right, guys, fourth down. Here we go. Let's get into this. This was a topic I didn't think I would do, but I put it on here as the fourth down because I do want to cover it. Because lo and behold, it happened in college football yesterday as well. Let's go back to early season when the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles were playing. Do we remember this when the Jalen Carter spit happened? Yeah. Why are we swapping spit in the NFL, guys? This happened again last week where Jamar Chase spit on a player and then the player was ejected for retaliating and punching him. Guys, spitting on people, that's against the law. They can file charges on you, bro. Like, what are we out here doing? Like, that's uncalled for. As someone who's had this happen to them in a workplace environment, yeah, there's no place for this. Again, like I said, it happened last night in college football as well. This seems to be just poor taste. If it continues to happen, I think stiffer penalties need to happen. I believe it was Jalen Carter. When he did it, it was before the first snap. So he got ejected, and that was his suspension. So Jamar Chase is suspended his one game for this week, which I think is why Joe Burrow is also sitting out. I don't think Joe Burrow wants to come back until he has his full arsenal of weapons. You know, that's just poised for one of those Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase comeback games with 4 or 5 TDs and about, 9 million yards. But hey, stop swapping spit, guys. Come on, spit on the ground, not on the players. All right, let's go. Come on, let's get our shit together. That's my PSA for today, and that was the fourth down. Let's turn the ball over to the picks. All right, guys, let's get into my favorite segment of the week, the picks. I am sitting at a healthy 80-44 after a 10-4 week last week. Man, I really needed some of these bounce back weeks after struggling and going, 5-7 a week or two ago. Man, that was rough. We've got 4 teams on the bye week this week. We've got Denver, the Chargers, Miami, and Washington all on the bye this week. So they get to rest up. Now, let's dig into these games, guys. Here is one of those games that is crucial for the Kansas City Chiefs. They are taking on the Indianapolis Colts today. Part of me wants to see Kansas City if they can get this ship righted and get back into that playoff hunt. But I really think Indianapolis has something special going this year with Jonathan Taylor and, dare I say, Daniel Jones. Give me the Colts in this one, guys. I like the Colts to take out the Chiefs and really send Chief Nation into a turmoil, searching for what could be a missed playoff opportunity. We've got Seattle taking on Tennessee, guys. I don't think I need to say much about this. This is a bounce-back game for Seattle against a terrible Tennessee team. Give me Seattle. Now, we've got a divisional matchup that is important to me because we've got Minnesota taking on Green Bay. Now, Green Bay comes in on a short week to Detroit on Thursday. This is important because both these teams need to look to grab ground in the NFC North. But I would really like to see Minnesota because I don't see them as much of a threat, as though the Lions did lose to them at home because they have a stout defense. I would rather Minnesota beat the Packers and us go to Minnesota and have to take them on there. We'll get right on that game. So I'm really torn in this one, but I'm going to take JJ and the Vikings in this game. Then we've got the Jets taking on Baltimore. The Jets, they've got their win, but they're still the Jets. They are going with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback, and Baltimore is hungry for the playoffs. So they should feed D. Henry and just keep the train on the tracks and get to the playoffs. Give me Baltimore in this game. We've got Pittsburgh taking on Chicago. Now, we've got Aaron Rodgers, who has been pushing to play after that small fracture in his non-throwing wrist. I don't think he's going to be playing today as much as he's been pushing, but it is Aaron Rodgers. Maybe in a little ayahuasca vacation, got him right, and he's ready to go. But I think, unfortunately, the Bears are going to handle Pittsburgh in this game. We've got New England and Cincinnati. Again, no Joe Burrow, no Jamar Chase for his little spit incident. So give me Drake May and Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots to take that game. Then we've got Cleveland and the Vegas Raiders. Stefanski's coaching for his job. I don't know that he's going to be safe. If he does get one more year, he better really do something with it next year. But the highlight in this is going to be Shedeur Sanders getting his first start in the NFL after coming in relief last week. And Myles Garrett chasing that sack record. I believe I read that he is on pace right now to set a record of 25 and a half sacks for the season. That's 3 more than Michael Strahan and TJ Watt. So that's what I'll be watching for in that game. Other than that, give me Cleveland and their defense to take out the Raiders. We've got Jackson in Arizona. This is going to be a interesting one. This is a pick'em game. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Give me Jacksonville in this game. Then we've got Philly and Dallas. This is going to be a good one, guys. I told you, Philly is for real. And that defense is really going to get after the Cowboys. That front line on Philly, they've got players. They went out and made a lot of moves pre-deadline, at the deadline to really solidify that. And a player that I wanted the Lions to pick up really caused havoc in Phillips. Philly keeps rolling. They're going to take care of Dallas. Give me Philly in that game. Atlanta and New Orleans. This is a garbage dumpster fire game. Penix is out. Looks like he might have ACL surgery. New Orleans is still trying to figure out who and what they are with Kellen Moore at the helm of this team. This, I feel like, maybe just a who are we season, and they make adjustments moving into next year. Again, this is a pick'em game. Sure, when the Saints come rolling in, let's go with the Saints. Why not? Let's see how this works out. Then we've got Tampa Bay, the better Baker Mayfield, taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Potential MVP candidate Matt Stafford, who's playing lights out. Great ball. That team is dangerous. While I feel like Philly is for real, the Rams could run them over. I'm telling you guys, that defense and that offense, they're both clicking. And they don't have to wait for one or rely on the other. They both work together. And they've been doing well. So if anybody takes out Philly for that number 1 seed, it's going to be the Rams. I, though, do like Matt Stafford and the Rams in this one. And then Monday Night Football, we've got Carolina taking on San Francisco. San Francisco with Mac Jones. Christian McCaffrey's coming back on. But also, the Carolina Panthers are finding a little bit of rhythm and starting to figure out their game. I don't think that they're going to beat the Niners, but I think it's going to be a more entertaining Monday Night Football game than what some people would have thought going into the season. All right, guys. So give me San Francisco in that one. And that's been the picks. We did the 4 downs. Philly is for real. Denver's dominance. Do or die the next couple of weeks. And swap and spit. What's with that? All right, guys. Tune in next week. We're actually tune in Thursday. We'll have a special Turkey Day, 4th and Funny for you. Until then, enjoy the games and have fun, everybody.